Zagged the overgate to make me a bonny wee lass, and she winked at me with the tail of her ears. I get up roving past, way my roving eye, for the little die, roving eyed and driving way my roving eye. She asked me for to gang with her, I said you'd all be kind, for I'm just happy up the mucky tay, the market ways and swine when me roving eye, for the little die, roving eyed and driving way my roving eye. She took me to her sitting room, a wee bit on the bum. I used to what Robbie Burns said the man was made to moan, way my roving eye.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation. Happy Friday, everybody. How are you out there on the other side of the monitor, cameras, whatever? Another Friday is upon us already. Time is flying by. 1 minute it's Saturday and the next minute it's Friday afternoon again. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get straight to the hellos. Just going up, just lost a couple. I showed up, they left. Lee is here. Hi, Lee. Artie, great to see you. You're up real early, waiting for that chainsaw at 8 o'clock. Here in Toledo, it's 9 a.m. Christopher, great to have you. I'm sorry, I noticed you had a couple live streams this week. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry I missed them. Mark, how are you, sir? Great to have you here, Dunnicle Dad. GWR Buckley Junction, great to have you. Another great channel, check it out. Hot Dog Pilot 63, nice to have you here as always, Andy. Jean Ricard, howdy hi, how are you, sir? Joseph Agliato, John at Mystic Railroad, Mason Dixon Railroad just came in. Tim J.D., one of the long-time standing members, along with Joseph and a couple others. Wigwag Workshop, Stephen is here. Nice to have you all. And that's everybody. Start of the autumn break in Denmark. First of all, best wishes to friend of the channel, Edward Katie at Happy Valley Hobbies. He has the Showstopper, so hopefully he gets better fast. I had that non-Showstopper flu last week that just knocked me on my rumpus for 4 days. I hadn't been that sick in where I just was dead for 4 days. I hadn't been that sick in probably 30 years. Let me see who else just came in. I saw Mick is here. Kiwi Dave is here. Greetings down to New Zealand, sir. Glad that you could make it in.
all you that do try to pop in every Friday. That's what we're here for. Actually, I'd be here if none of you were here, but it would just be pathetically sad. But yeah, didn't do a lot. Caught up with my grandson. Got to watch him a couple of times this week. And slowly was getting my strength back. I have done a little work. I don't know if a camera here will show it. Let me go to, where is it? Village View, that one. I don't know how well you can see there, but if you've been paying attention, I have been configuring the Fowler car road system. Hey, EFO, glad to have you here. So I did a little bit. I still have to take all these pieces out. I have to cut some special pieces. But I just was laying it out with a new configuration. Just trying to figure out what's the best way to do a couple of things. Yeah, you can also see if you look towards the middle bottom of the screen, you can see I am going to extend it and come around the side and make a bigger loop on the outside. That's one of the things I'm trying to figure out, the best way to work that out. Because by extending it that far, it cuts into my village scene. So I may turn around and change my mind not to do it. But right now, I've had a proof of concept, and yes, I can do it. So I have to take all this. I have to cut some specialty track. I probably need to order a couple of pieces of straights because that's what I use to make specialty cuts. A couple of things aren't quite lining up, but they're getting there. So overall, I'm happy. But yeah, to be honest, what you're seeing there was probably about 6 to 8 hours work with laying it down, relaying it out, readjusting, cutting things down, trying to make sure I didn't have to reuse the holes. Because I want to reuse the holes that I drilled for the motors, because otherwise it would be a pain in the butt to have to drill and try to realign everything. But I think I've got it to a point where I can do that. I've solved a couple of issues by laying the track out, brainstorming it. But yeah, I mean, it may not look like just laying the track out. You're like, you can do that in half an hour. It's laying it out, deciding you don't like it, rearranging pieces, trying to get this here, do I disconnect the station and move the station a couple inches left or right, and then just trying to come up with, is there a way I could use the old original configuration and expand on it? And eventually I did find a way. So that's what I did. Hey, Boxcar Jerry just came in. Welcome in, Jerry. You can have all the wood screws you want, Artie. I don't use wood screws because wood screws suck. Wood screws aren't good even for wood. The crap we have. All right, so anyhow, let's go ahead and start running some trains. The only other big news is I'm hoping to be dropping a new parody song video tomorrow. This is from this is being sung by a friend from down under. I'll just leave that, and no, not Artie. Hey, Kieran's here. Hi, Kieran. Great to have you. And Dwight Curley just came in. Welcome in. But we will be dropping a new song parody video tomorrow, but I don't sing it and Joyce doesn't sing it. I've got about 6 I need Joyce to sing, or 4 I need Joyce to sing. And then when my friend gets healthier, I may drop a couple on him and ask him to sing those. But I've got the music and the vocals all done. I am just in the process of building the visuals, and I should be able to get that done this evening and pop it up either late tonight or early tomorrow, my time. So anyhow, let's get some trains running, and maybe some of you have figured out the theme, but from the title, or not from the title, but from the comment in the video down below when you're waiting to get in. So let's go ahead and get trains running. No, I gave up. I just use deck screws for everything now. because the wood screws we get from our local DIY shops that are made in China, they strip. Even if you pre-drill, they strip. They're just garbage pieces of metal. So I'll let you scan around and see if you can figure out today's theme. Hey, Leslie's here. Nice to have you, Leslie. Sorry my comment wasn't very long on your video today, but I was trying to catch up with a few things I've been missing through the week. That's where I caught Tim Wells is here. Nice to have you, Tim. A lot of videos, and that's where I caught up. About 4 people I know had live streams that I missed. I was not on YouTube a lot through the evenings lately. I've been playing a game that I got it's an old game of mine, and I needed it. I use it to help focus my thinking. And so yeah, I was just video game oriented and wound up I missed Sunday, Sidetrack Sunday. I missed Heath's live stream. I missed 2 of Christopher's live streams and a few other live streams. There you go, Kiwi Dave. No, is my Fowler car working? No, but I've started working on it. I have begun coming up with a new configuration and layout that still fits the traffic, but also creates a double lane, which I kind of wanted. I'm just still debating whether to use the Fowler track or just get a large piece of 1/4-inch board and build the whole thing on one board, lay it out, and do it that way. That is correct, Jean Ricard. I am running double deckers. Every lane has double deckers on it. It is all double deckers today. Hey, Edward. I expect you to be asleep already. No, the Great Electric Train Show, I think, really is just a big model train show as opposed to a true toy vendor's fair. Speaking of the Nuremberg Train and Toy Show, EFO, from what I understand, beginning next year, they're going to allow the general public in at certain times. It's always been private. You either had to know somebody, one of the vendors, and get the guest tickets from them, but it's always been corporate and business people only. But like if you owned a shop in the United States, you could get in, a toy store or a shop, but it's been closed to the general public. Some public can get in, but it's been closed to the general public. But from what I understand, either 2023 or 2024, they're opening the Nuremberg Train and Toy Show to the general public, because it is the largest vendor show. It's where all the companies come and show their product range for the year. I don't know, you guys would have to tell me. I've never seen, but at least in Germany, did steamers ever pull double deckers? Oh, don't say that, Mystic. I had it just 2 weeks ago where I had one that kept derailing. I do have an issue today, which is for some reason all the trains running on lane 1, and I've changed trains, but all my locomotives and stuff running on lane 1 are running slow. I don't know why. It's just the outer track. I cleaned it up a bit to see if that was it. I went to see if maybe there was a section that was separated, that had come apart. But for some reason, every train I put on lane 1, I'm on my 4th loco today and finally just gave up. Everything else is running smooth, but for some reason, lane 1 is running slow. And I can't figure it out. Maybe I just need to reboot everything, but... Steamers have pulled double-deckers. Okay, see, again, if it's before 2005, I really don't know. I learned my eras studying... actually, it was probably the American website Renaud's where I got the basics and then moved on from there. And then as I got into the hobby, started reading about some of the German companies. But again, I've always focused on Era 6 and basically trains I've ridden on. So I'm not always savvy with some of that. Now, if it ties into history, like knowing KPEV, which was on those new wagons I had last week, if it was KPEV, then yeah, I know it's the Kingdom of Prussia's state railway. And yeah, oh, that's somebody I missed. Dale is here. The Highball and Hogger is here. Dale, it was nice to see you popping in. Hope you're feeling well or better. It was nice to see you post a Sunday video recently. But, yeah, it's just... Joyce was in a bit of a panic because she's got already, her school and her classroom has a 3rd different flu going around. This one is a stomach flu. Kids are throwing up everywhere. Not in her classroom, but some of her kids have had it, and she's been worried that she was going to bring it home and give it to me again, because I'm pretty sure that's where I got my last one. She had a couple of kids out with it, and suddenly I had the same symptoms, and I was knocked over sideways. But otherwise, didn't really... I just kind of zoned out this week. You can see a double-decker in the museum genre card. Interesting. Well, I have a lot of double-deckers. Really, I should have 3 double-deckers, maybe 4 if you count the 1 double-decker car on the Alex train. But hey, it's one there, it's counting. And Alex does that. The Alex Rail Lines in southeastern Germany, they'll run a bunch of single cars and have 1 or 2 double-deckers added in. They're old double-deckers they bought off of Deutsche Bahn or other companies, and then they just kind of clean them up a bit and throw them on. Alex really is a used train company. They run the old Silberlingas repainted that they got from Deutsche Bahn when Deutsche Bahn started getting rid of a lot of the Nahverkehr cars. I know they still use them, but they got rid of a lot of them. We noticed that just between 2003 and 2015. Our first couple of years in Germany, all we rode were single-decker old Silberlinga and Nahverkehr, Nahverkehr cars. And then it was almost always double-deckers. And then the diesel, the DMUs became more and more pronounced as we were seeing them. But I have 3 different sets of the red Regio double-deckers, and that is because I bought one and they were damaged severely when they had to redo the basement of plumbing. We had to have them do a weeping system inside and outside the house because we were getting tons of water all of a sudden in the basement. Basically, our foundation was saturated and water was pouring through. And so we had to have a new weeping system dug around the entire outside of the house, and then they came and did it inside. Well, I had nowhere to go with my old layout at the time, and they piled junk on it, even though they were told, don't do that. They're just, here's a space. And they broke about 3 or 4 of my cars and one of my locos. And so I waited forever. I fixed up what I could and waited forever. And finally, Rocco re-released this group by Hobby Trade, which have the blue, well, they're really bright white lights, but they look blue because the seats inside the cars are blue. It's going to be going above me in about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. And then the Regio blocks it, or the IC2 blocks it. So I bought those. Very happy with them. They're true 100 scale. But then out of the blue, somebody gave their collection of trains, their American collection, to this company Renaud based in Chicago. And they were selling them for half the price. And I just said, screw it. And I bought a new set so I could just have the old original American set. And then I grabbed 2 of those cars that I had replaced but are still in decent shape. And I'm using those on that inside lane over there. So let me see if I can do the choice view when it comes around again. But there's the Hobby Trade cars, which was an awesome Danish company. And then there's the IC2 double-deckers, which Joyce and I rode in 2017. And then there's the single double-decker with the Alex train. And then the yellow and blue is the Metronome, which is based on Hamburg and the area around Hamburg. Hey, Mark, how are you? Nice to have you here. But there you can see, sort of in the background, you can see it's one passenger car and a Steuerwagen, because that's all I have that still works. That's all I have. Hey, Digger, nice to have you here. Thanks for stopping in. But so I said, what the hell? That way it gave me 6 lanes with a double-decker on every lane. But here you'll see those Hobby Trades coming in. I think these are beautiful. They're true 187 scale. And the lights in them are just wonderful. Very sharp. Love the cars. I think Hobby Trade made excellent rolling stock. Hobby Trade also made some Schleswig-Holstein state cars that I never could find. I wanted them but could never find them. Yes, Evo is here. That's interesting to hear, Evo. They made the best Orient Express so far. Because Jouf makes nice ones according to friends. Obviously, I've never owned anybody's. I haven't owned the Märklin. The Orient Express is definitely not something I will be adding to my collection. I've got the 2 Rheingolds. And then I bought these steamer cars at the train show last week. But yeah, this week I just absorbed myself into an old computer war game. And I just spent hours and hours playing it. And in a lot of ways it helps me focus and think. When I'm distracted and got too many things going on in my brain, it's nice to dip into my war games and just use that sort of analytical and military mindset. It just helps me sharpen the brain, get my thinking in order. It distracts me from stuff, and then I can come out ready to go. So I've got a bit of a to-do list both around the house. I need to get going on it because I've had a big change in my routine. For the first several weeks of my retirement, I was getting up early every morning and going for a bike ride, but the weather's turned cold, too cold to bike ride, getting a little dark, and even though I have lights on my bike, there's just a couple of areas where the drivers are too insane. So I stopped doing that. Yeah, actually it should have been 3 running. It was going to be 3 running locomotive first and 3 running Steuerwagen first, but yeah, all my locos were just struggling pushing up. At least they'll pull up the incline on lane 1. Lane 1 is supposed to be Steuerwagen first, but for some reason my entire lane 1, no matter what I put on it, is acting up. It's been a little frustrating today. Hey, there you are. Well, to be honest, I think when you can watch YouTube on a big screen, especially if it's 4K, but even if it's standard high definition, well, standard high definition is 720, and then full high definition is 1080, and then there's 2K, which they just skipped and went straight to 4K. And now 8K is out. But yeah, so we will be dropping a new song tomorrow. Like I said, I should be able to get it done before I go to bed tonight. I've already got the music in. I've got the vocals in. I've got the lyrics in. I'm just trying to pick video. And I used to be very, very creative trying to build the videos, but anymore, trying to find the pictures you want when 99% of the pictures, when you do a Google search for images or a Bing search for images, 99% of them are owned images by Alami and 123ZRT and all these companies, ZRF, 123ZRF, that they just put their stupid imprints all over. You used to be able to find plenty of pictures for free, and now it's all these people that want their dimes to use their pictures, and that's all it finds. It used to be they would find all the free pictures. Like even when I did the first series of Matt Clark, almost all those pictures were free pictures. Now they're all frickin' copyrighted images or corporate owned images. Hey, Stefan Skoll, how are you? So yes, Greg, I did not respond to your email, but I did get everything, and that is what you should be looking for tomorrow. Although I will probably have Joyce add a little, if she's got time, I'm going to have Joyce add a little bit of background vocals. When you behave well, your wife cooks you a steak. My wife cooks steak whether I behave well or not. She puts it on the menu, and that's what we're having that day. Of course, now I do the cooking. Hey, Paul, nice to have you here. Tommy the Tank has entered the building. Let the dad joke start flying. Nobody's on this side now. So let's go that way. Wrong one, sorry. Scared you. EFO, because that would be a lot more work. And, again, most of the stuff I did with Matt Clark was before you had this rampant thing. But that would be a lot of work to try to build a three-dimensional thing and use it as photographs. It's just easier to find old photographs. Like, a lot of them I just scan our old vacation pictures, and then I make them black and white and pop stuff in there that I'm not worried about. But every now and then I need a very specific image. And to try to go out and find a model, then buy the model, then build the model, then paint the model. That's a lot of work for what's supposed to be a stupid comic strip. So it's just easier to do the, just find an image, whether it's out of our own family collection or something I steal online, and pop it in. You had McDonald's for tea. Of the double-decker, which one's my favorite? Wow, that's a hard question. A lot of ways I love the IC2, the white one, just because it's got very special memories. Joyce and I, that's the actual locomotive and the numbered cars that Joyce and I rode. We rode that exact train. Well, not that exact one, because they would have had to shrink us. But the train and the 5 cars are a very specific route train. And it's the one we rode. So we rode that locomotive 164-575, and then the car numbers, the wagon numbers. That's exactly the one we rode. And even on the announcements, it announces Delmenhorst. You know, next halt, Delmenhorst. Next stop, Delmenhorst. So it's very special, and it's just a cool looking model. I like the German high-speed trains. I love the white with the red stripe. But then I do love those hobby trade. I just love how bright the windows are. With the blue seats, it gives a bluish tint. It's coming right above me right now. They're true scale. They're true 187 scale, which is a big plus. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of machinery. So the best I could do is narrow it down to those two. But then again, the metronome's a very cool guy. How can I forget the metronome? But no, I probably do like the IC2 and the hobby trade cars a little better than the rest. A 40-euro beer. A 40-euro beer. You know, no beer, no matter how good, is worth 40 euros. Now, if it's a big case or something, yeah, but for a singular beer, no beer's worth 40 euros. Yeah, you guys can save that fried chicken talk till Joyce gets here, because Joyce loves fried chicken. I don't like fried chicken. Joyce loves fried chicken. Yeah, that kind of surgery will do that to you. Also the recovery, but that's great. Because, yeah, every now and then I go back and watch old videos I did from 3 years ago before I started losing the weight. And it blows me away, the difference. I'm used to how I look now, and sometimes I have to go look at those pictures where I was carrying that massive weight for 5-6 years, and it was just, ugh. I was watching a couple of the old... even if you go and watch my earliest videos I put on YouTube, I hadn't gotten quite as big as I did. But yeah, you could see me get kind of big, shrink a bit, get kind of big, shrink a bit, get even bigger, shrink a bit, get even bigger, shrink a bit. And then I just ballooned up right after we got back from Germany in 2019. I probably gained 15 pounds just in the time period we got back between Germany and New Year's. I gained 15, 16 pounds. Just all the holiday eating, stress eating. And yeah. Don't mention being standy. Ooh, boo. Going to a mini train show tomorrow and a big Christmas show on Sunday. That's a little early for a big Christmas show, isn't it? I don't know. Switzerland's just ridiculously priced. I'm sure there's some very cheap local beers in Iceland. I don't know about Sweden. Is Sweden notoriously expensive? Switzerland, everything is just expensive in Switzerland. Now, I have paid more than 40 euros for a bottle of brandy. I don't think I've paid 40 euros for wine. Or at this stage, I can go back to dollars because the dollar is now worth more than the euro. So I don't know. Have I ever paid more than $40 for a bottle of wine? I don't think I have. I'm not a big wine drinker. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I get that too, Mark. We passed a couple of Icelands in the UK. In Carnarvon and Conwy, Joyce and I walked past, and I think we saw one in Liverpool. The one thing I want to steal and bring back from the UK, though, is Mrs. Potts Chocolate House and her Matilda cake. Oh my goodness, that stuff. Oh, that was the greatest chocolate cake I've ever had. Matilda cake at Mrs. Potts Chocolate House. There's one in Bristol and one in Cardiff. I think there might be a third. But that Matilda cake was the greatest chocolate cake I've ever had in my life. Wow, Leslie. Mason, you never miss anything on this live stream. There's nothing other than my trains go in circles and I babble about whatever comes up in the chat or whatever happened to me this week. Not a lot happened to me this week. I was playing a computer war game, actually a Warhammer 40K war game on my computer, and I just spent hours on it. I just kept going and going and going. Wanted to complete the campaign in a week. And I did, so. Yeah, that sounds about right, the old Mark. Yeah, by the way, anybody in here who went to Getz, let us know. Now, it has probably changed because I don't drink a lot, but it would take a ton of alcohol to get me drunk. Or it used to. I could drink beer after beer after beer, and Americans would have to remember the Dr. Johnny Fever episode where they had the state trooper and the alcohol doing the reflex testing, and the more alcohol he drank, the better Dr. Johnny Fever got. That was kind of me. Beer just never affected me. And I never developed a taste for hard liquor, although we talked about liquor last week. But no, I'm not a wine connoisseur. I know my types of wines vaguely. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. But in terms of what I like and what somebody else is like, it's all, to a degree, it's subjective. And there are some fancy wines we have had with friends who bring out the fancy wine where I'm like, that didn't taste that good. And maybe my taste just isn't cultured. But I think that happens when something's a big name and it's $100 a bottle or $200 a bottle. You have to say it tastes good, because otherwise you're uncultured and an idiot. But I don't mind being uncultured in some things. I'm quite content being uncultured about some things. You'll drink till the cows come home. I drink that the cows come back and then leave again because I'm drinking again. You spilled most of it. Hey, Grumpy Strains, welcome in. I'm a Rodler person. I know what Rodler is, but I think I've had it and I liked it, but it's so hard to say. I don't like types. I don't like specifics. I've just had, I've had hundreds and hundreds of beers. And I've just had so many small local beers in so many small little German towns over the years that it's hard to remember what was the name of that, what was the name of that, what was the name of that. When it comes to the big names, you know, I don't mind. I talked about this last week. I don't mind Beck's in Germany when it's brewed in Bremen. I like Weihenstephaner. And I like lagers. I like ales. I like pilsners. I don't have a particular one. I like German beer. I like Czech beer. I like. I found out that there's a couple of Italian beers I really like. I haven't had a French beer. I like Belgian beer. I like some beers and didn't like some beers I had in the UK. Even Canada, there are a couple of beers I like from Canada. There's a couple of beers I don't like. Overall, I'm not impressed with American beers. I've become a bit of a beer snob that way, that I really find American beers to be rather weak and blah once I've developed the taste for other beers. But there are still some American beers I don't mind. And a 120 millimeter gun. We're pimping Mark's wheelchair out. But, you know, since we've been married, Joyce and I have been tipsy a couple of times, but never drunk. And I don't know if people need that explained. Where we have felt the effects of alcohol and definitely would not have driven. Fortunately, we were walking. But a couple of times in Germany, we had we mixed alcohols and had a couple of beers and then a couple of shots of ouzo and a couple of shots of marsala and then a couple of shots of Ulishka. And yeah, we kind of walked a zigzaggedy line back to our hostel, or not hostel, the bed and breakfast where we were staying, the pension. No, I like Canadian beers, but there are quite a few Canadian beers I don't like. But overall, I think Canadian beer is better than average American beer. Now, there are so many now small microbreweries, but you know, even the name brand beers that people like to put out there, like Sam Adams, I think Sam Adams is piss. I'm really not a fan of Sam Adams. But when I was young, I liked Stroh's beer, and Stroh's was poor man's crap beer, but I liked it. I don't know if I mean, they don't make Stroh's anymore, but if I were to have a Stroh's today, would I still like it? Probably, because it has lots of fond memories of my friends and I sitting around playing poker, drinking Stroh's, and just doing all sorts of our little comedy skits together. We'd just sit around and do stuff. And then somebody would come up with a really stupid idea and we would follow through on it. One of my favorite memories, I may have told the story before on the live stream, one of my favorite memories with my friends in high school is when we were all 18 before we graduated high school. We went to the local pornography theater. And we went into, it was one of the sequels to Story of O. And we always had one friend who didn't drink. We had that friend. Even back in the early 80s, somebody had to be sober to drive. And we all took turns. And on this particular case, Joe elected to drive. My friend Joe Leonard drove. But he didn't go into the movie because he was very pure. He just dropped us off and hung out at the mall. But we went into the porno with the full intention of getting kicked out. And what we did was, we were watching the porno enough to get the plot. And then we started doing all the Bugs Bunny characters, all the voices, because we could all do different voices. And just have them all doing the porno. So you had Elmer Fudd as a dominatrix, you know. Be very, very quiet. I'm going to bruise your bottom. You know, we just do. And we just kept going. And half the audience was laughing at us. And the other half got us kicked out. But yeah, we were asked to leave and never come back. But that was the whole point. Paul, that's a horrible. Yeah, Sam Adams is a big brew. They started as small brew. My son likes Leinenkugel, and I had Leinenkugel and just did not like it. But anymore, if I drink beer, I get Stella Artois. If you can get it fresh imported, is very good. I like Stella Artois. Heineken's is okay, although I've had a couple of bad batches of Heineken lately. Oh, MST3K. Love MST3K. My kids grew up on MST3K. It started on Minnesota TV in 87 and then went to one of the comedy channels in 88. My first daughter was born in 88. And, my kids all grew up on MST3K. I still watch it all the time. Both the new episodes that they've re-released, Riff Tracks, some of the other guys that branched off on their own company, and now the original creator and a couple of the original founders are back with MST3K, but new people doing the riffing and writing the jokes, but it's sponsored and produced by the guy who started it all, Joel Hodgson. Oh, I love MST3K. And the funny thing is, we did that as kids. We would turn on the volume of famous movies and just start doing goofy storylines behind it. You know, and there were things before that. What's his name? Woody Allen. What's Up, Tiger Lily? Where they took the Japanese spy movie, and turned it into about the ingredients of a ham sandwich. That was brilliant stuff. Yeah, you really do. A Bailey Bridge for a military layout seems like it would be kind of a... You're a black belt in origami. No, I tend to be a bit of a gentle giant until I'm crossed, and then people see a very dark side. As most people who have met me know, I'm a big guy, and now I'm tall and not as big as I used to be. But I worked out for years. I played sports for years and years and years. And I grew up a bit of a street fighter, and I don't mean the video game. I grew up in tough neighborhoods where you had to fight. And if you were like me, a kid going to school and doing well in school, you had to fight a hell of a lot more. Because the dudes in my neighborhood did not like dweebs like me showing them up doing well in school. Yes, on your screen I'm no more than an inch. Like I said, that's why it was funny. That was, Philip hasn't been in a couple of weeks. Philip Page. And Lee was here. I don't know if he still is. There's Richard. Richard can comment on it. But, every time I met somebody in the UK who knew me from YouTube, they're like, oh, you're a lot taller. You're a lot bigger than you look on you. I mean, I don't know what you got to gauge it by. You're seeing me on a computer. You're seeing me in a little screen. I mean, I knew Lee was kind of short, but I think it surprised me a little bit how much shorter he was than me. But I think the one that really got me was Jim at Hover Motion. Sorry, Jim, if you're listening in the background. I was a little surprised. I was like, damn, Jim, you are short. I'm only saying that now. I wouldn't have said it then. But he's looking up like, man, you're tall. And I'm like, you're not. But all the better to work around in his layout. That's why some of you Brits you guys in the UK can work in your layouts. You're not that tall. You can go up there. I'm crouching around Jim's, making sure I don't knock something over. He's got stuff here on the shelves, stuff there on the shelves, and he's got all kinds of little collections here and there and tight little fits. Well, you can maybe fit in there, Anthony. And I'm like, okay. And I found a little corner, and I sat in the corner and just sat next to his stuff and just watched his trains go round and round and round and round. And he shared some great stories and showed me a lot of cool stuff that he doesn't get to show on his videos. It was so awesome. But yeah, I was a little surprised at how short Jim was. For your weight, you should be 6'11". Well, I am barefoot. I'm about 6'3", 6'3 and a half. The minute I put on shoes, I'm 6'4". Now, when I was born, back in that day, the doctors used to tell your parents that this is what you could expect. The doctor said I should have grown somewhere between 6'5" and 6'7", maybe 6'8", based on all the variables. But what they didn't factor in is my mom was a chain smoker. So was my dad. And we were bottle fed. And that affected a lot of the... Because, yeah, I was born with a couple of birth defects. I was born with one kidney. I only have one kidney. The one kidney I have works, but I live in fear. Several YouTubers that I am either friends with or followers of, Redbird Tony, Eric, who was Darth's Eye, and now he is the A&A, R&R, Railroad and Life's Journey. Eric, in fact, Eric was on dialysis this week. I'm especially sensitive to people with kidney issues because I have lived in fear of kidney issues because I only have the one. I don't have the backup. Hey, there's Clive. And yeah, that sounds good, GWR. Next trip to the UK, we'll hit your shed if you're in the UK. No, Jean Ricard, you can cut the stream short. I'm not going to cut the stream short. Some German friends showed up. I didn't think you liked the Germans, Jean Ricard. I'll say that on the screen, see if they hear me. Ich habe gedacht, dass Sie die Deutschen nicht mögen haben. Dass Ihnen die Deutschen nicht gefallen haben. Yes, I did see that Charlie Bishop won a YouTube prize. Obviously, well-deserved. It was Best YouTube Channel. Now, mind you, I think my channel's the best YouTube channel. I just don't know best at what. What am I going to do, Jean Ricard? Am I going to say, no, you have to stay here and watch my stream. You cannot go and visit your friends. That would be a pretty arrogant stream. What? Nobody's allowed to leave my stream. Oh, I didn't start up the mallard. I've only been, of course, maybe I shouldn't run the mallard because mallard's only single decker, but it's a DC, so it doesn't count. The Oompa Loompas. Oompa Loompas were the Wizard of Oz. No, I'm thinking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, the Flying Monkeys. What were the Wizard of Oz Flying Monkeys called? They're from Rostock. I know Rostock. There you go. We'll let you see the mallard racing around for a bit with those little teat coaches. Yeah, maybe I'll slow it down just a beat. That's a little better. No, they didn't. Now, the U.S. has double-decker trains on the Amtrak, but, man, they are like twice the size of the double-deckers, the prototype double-deckers I see in Germany, EFO. And then the Canadians have those really almost hexagonal-shaped double-deckers, especially with the VIAs, the Go Ontario VIAs. I need to tilt that camera again. $73 pounds will get you a small bar these days. Yeah. Everything's got that Batman tilt to it with my cameras. I straighten them out and then all of a sudden they just tilt back again. European double-decker trains were a French and East German thing. Hey, 156 Andrew, how are you? You put up a couple of cool rail fanning videos this week. I did catch those. See, I get up in the morning and I watch a few videos while I'm on the exercise bike, and then when Kyan comes over, I don't watch YouTube at all Tuesday and Thursday. Because by the time he leaves, I then cook dinner, I make dinner, and then I've been playing on my video game in the evening. Joyce has had kind of a rough week, and yeah, those are the ones, Grumbeast, exactly. Yeah. There's those hobby trade cars. Those are just beautiful cars. I need to get people inside them. I really do. How does it feel to be retired? I'm enjoying not working. I still keep in touch with a couple of colleagues from work, just briefly via Facebook, and listening to some of the stuff they're doing and some of the stuff I would have had to do this year. Yeah, I'm not missing it. You know, the thing is, if I start talking about missing students, it's a past tense thing. It's the students I had. And I do miss some of that. But the minute I start thinking, oh, I could still be teaching and still having those wonderful experiences with my students that I've always had. But then my brain immediately gets tired from that thought. Like, I couldn't do it. 36 years was enough. And God bless the teachers that do 40, but I put a lot into teaching, because I didn't just teach, I coached, I did clubs, I did my own thing. I on top of that, I somewhere stayed married and raised my kids. But I just, I know in my heart I could have made myself do another year, but I would have been more miserable this year than last year, because I would have had to do all these extra things this year to renew my teaching license and get evaluated by the state that I'm a highly competent teacher, highly qualified teacher is what they call it. Hey, Alan at Dragon Junction, how are you? The thing is, I haven't gotten into a true retirement routine yet. The only routine I have is I watch Cayenne Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've got a list of things I want to get to, but I haven't been able to motivate myself. I got up every morning, would exercise, work out, and then I would watch YouTube. And I did that for like the first 4 weeks I was, that Joyce had gone back to work and I was home, because that's when retirement kicked in. It really didn't kick in until Joyce went back to work, which is when I would have gone back to work. And so I was getting up in the morning, riding my bike 5 miles or so. And I did, trying to get into the routine of cooking, because I do most of the cooking now. And trying to keep the house somewhat clean. And then I watch Cayenne on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I have not been, I haven't talked myself into coming down and work on the layout, except for the little bit of Fowler car track experimentation I did. And that was actually good. I felt good that I got an idea. The problem is I'm still debating, do I want to do this or not? And yeah, and the thing is, I never hung out with the guys or the colleagues after work and stuff like that. So Joyce and my now heavily depleted circle of friends were really the only people I socialized with. So it's not a lot different. It's not, my routines in the evening, the only difference is I cook now instead of waiting for Joyce to cook. Hey, Alan, how are you? It was funny because so many of you people that met at Getz, obviously you know each other, and it was just funny to see all your different videos and to see all the people like me, I would have been gawking at, that's Alan Wiles, that's Gary from Cheeky Tech, that's Tony Northeastern, that's this person, that's that person. Just, you could see the ordinary people back there. And then, of course, you all know each other and you communicate offline as well. I don't do that with many people where I talk to them consistently on Facebook. Artie a bit here, Tim JD a bit, Christopher a bit, but I'm not a consistent communicator. George exchanges emails with me now and then. Greg exchanges emails with me now and then. And I'm very bad about writing even an email a week as I should. No, that's my cooking too. That's my cooking too, Artie, is... No, there's a couple of meals I don't like and I don't want to make them, so Joyce will make them. Joyce will still cook certain meals. Like she's got a couple of chicken meals she really loves, and I don't like chicken. Now I have cooked the chicken and shredded the chicken a couple of times for her, but like when she wants fried chicken or baked, shake and bake chicken, she does that because I won't do it. See, that's something I think my ego would love would be to go to a train show and be recognized by people. And it's one thing when you're going, like, I'm going to go see Jim and he knows I'm coming. He's like, yeah, there you are, the guy from YouTube. Or meeting you, Alan or Philip and those guys, where we knew we were meeting. But just to walk into a train show and have people going, you're Alan Wiles, Dragon Junction, oh my God, I love your channel. Or you're Charlie Bishop, oh my God, I love your channel. You know, that would be wild. Obviously, you have to have some level of size, but again, I don't have too many Americans, definitely not nearby Americans. The closest I had to that was last Friday and Saturday. Saturday when Joyce and I went to the train show in Cleveland. We were meeting a couple of people, and I had no idea what they looked like. But Rick and his wife Lisa walked up, and Joyce turned and saw them looking at us and said, I think these people recognize us. And they walked up and they go, Anthony and Joyce from Model Train Outsider, right? And we're like, yeah, okay. But it would be weird to just have a dealer or a random person in the hall just suddenly go, hey, you're that dude on YouTube. Hey, there's Ewan. How are you, Ewan? Great to have you. But you could just see it in the videos and pictures people were taking. Not only were the YouTubers like, hey, nice, maybe it was the first time some of you met each other, but you've talked a lot, I'm sure, off YouTube, and you know each other that way. You share some of the stories of the hobby. But yeah, that many people walking up, or just one person. Now, my thing is, I have that when I go into local restaurants here in Toledo, where students and their families or former students from 20, 30 years ago go, and they always say the same thing. Didn't you used to be Anthony Dodge? Well, I used to be, but I had an operation. Now I'm Tallulah Bankhead. I'll do stuff like that, but they'll always say, like, didn't you used to be Mr. Dodge? Sometimes they'll say, hey, didn't you used to teach at Libby, or didn't you used to teach at Leverett or something? Yeah. So I do get recognized at restaurants and at stores now and then. But, I taught thousands of people over 36 years. Thousands. 150 a year for 36 years. That's what, about close to 5,000? Well, yeah, it would be funny to do that. But in some ways, it's got to be the right one. It's got to be the right joke name. Like, if you walked up to Alan and said, hey, Charlie Bishop, I love your channel. That would be funny. I'm trying to catch up. Hey, Damien's here. How are you? I would have liked to have gone to Timonium, maybe driven down there, but it's a bit too far of a drive for us, probably 9 hours. And we are going to visit my other mortally ill friend. I don't know if it'll be the last time we see him or not. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we'll get up a couple of more times, but... All right, Ifo, take care. Thanks for popping in and sharing your knowledge, man. Love it. Well, I just want to be there whenever Robert Allen hook up with anybody else, because that had to be wild. That would just be so, I mean, every YouTuber I met, you know, talk about this again, it is unique to meet somebody you've watched on, because, you know, I know some of you watch on computers. I watch on my TV. So it really is no different. Meeting Alan, meeting Jim, meeting Lee, meeting some of these people, meeting Tim. These are people I've seen on TV. Now, some put their faces on camera more, like Tim JD doesn't put his face on camera very often. So it wasn't, it was, I knew his channel and I've talked to him and he's been a member of my channel forever. So it was so different. But when you meet somebody like Alan, who's in front of the camera, it really is meeting a television celebrity. Now, hopefully most people don't have the egos. I know a few do. But you meet somebody that's been on your TV for a few years, it literally is no different than meeting somebody from a TV show you've been watching for 2-3 years. It's no different. Other than the person you're meeting from YouTube is probably more real than you're meeting a person who plays a character you watch. When you meet Alan, you're meeting Alan. You're not meeting a character Alan played in a TV show. And there is an immediate, some kind of shared experience. Like, you're a model train guy, I'm a model train guy. All right, take care, Artie. We will see you later. Go get your wood chopping done. Stealth wheelchair. I seriously doubt you would be a stealth anything, Mark. I think you're a little too rambunctious. I know, and we all feel that way. And again, we've beaten this to death, I'm sure. But anytime you talk about YouTube meet and greets, you know, I went to meet Jim. I went to meet Alan and Tim and Philip and Richard. I don't think you people are meeting me. I'm there to meet you. You know, I'm just the dude on YouTube. You're the star on that channel. I'm just some schmuck who puts up videos. And I know we all see ourselves that way, or at least a lot of us do. But the best thing is when you meet people and they are just as likable in person as they are on camera. The talk I had with Jim is because Jim does talk on his videos. But just to sit down with Jim and just shoot the breeze, almost said the 4-letter version, to just talk. And then to sit in his yard and talk with his wife and kids and him about vacations and life, and where it wasn't just trains. You know, it was the same with Alan driving around Wales, and Alan's telling the stories of all these places and these different things, and it was eclectically amazing, because I did at times turn around and there's Alan Wiles driving his car telling me about these mountains and his history as a truck driver driving through this region, and it's this beautiful country that he's lived in and driven through, and I'm sitting there every now and then turning and looking at his profile going, yeah, that's Alan Wiles, you know. It is amazing when you get a chance to meet. That's why if you get a chance, go. I met so many of the people I want to meet. There's other people I still want to meet. I still want to hook up with Christopher. Although Joyce and I did change our travel plans a bit. We're going to Germany next year, and then we were thinking of going back to the UK in 2024. We're pushing that back to 2025 because we're going to go to New Zealand and Australia in 2024. We decided we want to get that trip in. And then we'll go back to Germany and the UK. But that's why with us going to Germany, it is so, there aren't any German YouTubers anymore that I would want to meet. But there are European guys I would, I'm so hoping Jean Ricard will meet us. I am so hoping Jean Ricard can come down and stay with us in Hamburg for a couple of days, or we would meet him at Miniature Wonderland and spend the day together there. And then there's a couple other guys that I would love, if it were possible, to have them come over and meet. Well, we're going to hook up with Artie, and Kiwi Dave has offered to show us parts of the New Zealand, so we'll just have to work it out. I'm a little leery of the long flight, and it would be their winter time. That's the sad thing. It's their winter time, because the only time Joyce and I can travel is June or July, and Joyce would rather get it over with so that she has all July and the first half of August to get ready to go back to work. You're happier in Canada? That's cool. I mean, I only see a lot of these places as a tourist. I don't live the life there, but, Joyce and I have always felt at home in Germany. We love Germany, and if we were to ever, and it's not going to happen, but if we were to ever move out of the United States, we'd move to Germany. But I'll tell you what, Joyce fell in love with Cardiff hard. Joyce is in love with the town of Cardiff and the country of Wales. No offense to my Liverpool friends and our Scotland friends, but Joyce fell in love with Wales. Wales, Cardiff was her favorite place. Even though it was early in the trip, she loved everywhere we went. But Cardiff just hit her hard in a good way. She just fell in love with Cardiff, and she loved northwestern Wales. She loved, she wasn't enamored with the town we stayed in. Gwynedd, Bangor. It was not her favorite town, but the area around that Alan showed us, and we saw on our own, Carnarvon, Conwy, and those areas. She just loved Wales. She loved Liverpool. She thought Liverpool was a cool city. But Cardiff was the city of all the places we stayed in Germany. Cardiff, I mean, to be honest, she'd want to buy the little cottage we rented in Cardiff. She would just buy that and move there tomorrow. That's true. That is true. When you're out west and see the Rockies, the mountains of Wales become anthills. I get that. And no offense to the mountains of Wales. It's the same thing. Where I live in the United States, we don't have mountains. We don't have hills. The only hills we have are when girls sunbathe on their back. And even then, they need to be at least a B cup for us to classify as hills. We just don't. Toledo is, we've got some undulations. I mean, even in our own neighborhood, we've got a little bit, but it's flat. Toledo, Northwest Ohio, Southeastern Michigan is just flat. And it's flat all the way down for 250 miles. It's flat. You got to get south of Columbus and southeast of Columbus before you really start seeing hills. And then you get into the Appalachians. But where we're at in Toledo, so the first time, now I saw the Rocky Mountains as a kid, but the first time Joyce really saw mountains, well, she went to the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachians with me, where we went whitewater rafting. That was the first time she really saw mountains. And then she saw the Alps. And the Alps are amazing. But Joyce's favorite places in Germany aren't the Alps. She loves the Alps, but she likes the Rhine, the little towns on the Rhine River. And her favorite town in Germany, I think, is Pirna, which is just east of Dresden to you and I. But she loves the town of Pirna on the river, on the Elbe River. And she loves that region, what they call Saxon Switzerland up there. It was a long drive. I've driven cross country, but I did it overnight. I did 1,300 miles in overnight. But Joyce and I took the kids and spent 2 weeks driving all around west. Because we're in Toledo, which is mid-east United States. We're about 700 miles from the coast. About 800 miles from New York City. But we're on the Great Lake. We're on Erie, which is the second smallest of the Great Lakes. And it's the shallowest of the Great Lakes. Ontario is deeper than Erie. But yeah, Joyce fell in love with Cardiff. My favorite place in the UK, if I just talk about place, I mean the National Railway Museum in York was amazing and was a special experience. And York is a pretty city. I like York. But Liverpool was the one city where I hit and it was just, yeah, this would be a cool place to live. Cardiff was beautiful. Northern Wales is beautiful. Edinburgh was beautiful. Too full of too many bloody tourists. York was beautiful. London was just too big. London had some cool stuff to it. And we liked the little town section we lived in London, which is actually a poor neighborhood that's slowly being built up. It's near the Whitechapel area. We were literally a 1.5 minute walk from the Jack the Ripper Museum. We were just around the corner and down the street from the Jack the Ripper Museum in the Whitechapel area. But there was so much I loved seeing in the UK, and there's so much more to see. We didn't even get into the southeast area or even the south coast. But yeah, Joyce fell hard for Cardiff. Cardiff just really, really got into Joyce's heart. She just loved it. She always wants to do more things, but if I said we're going back to the UK and maybe we'd stay in Cardiff again, she'd be like, yeah, oh yeah. All right, Kiwi Dave, thank you for popping in, as always. Yeah, I've heard British Columbia can be expensive in the Vancouver and that area, but I've got a friend, Herb, who I haven't heard from in a while. I probably should email him. He lives up in, I believe he's up in Alberta. But he's near the mountains, so maybe he is in British Columbia. I need to be Edinburgh this time of year. Well, I got another few years before I can travel. Because Joyce is teaching for another at least 7 years. And so our travel is restricted to when she's off work, because we cannot travel while she's at work. And we could do, she'd have to get permission to take 5 days off work, and it just wouldn't warrant it. We would love to go to do Christmas markets in Germany one Christmas, but that may have to wait till she retires. Well, thank you for that, Kiwi Dave. I appreciate that. Well, I retired. Again, Joyce and I aren't going to move from here because 2 of our 3 kids are here, and our 3rd kid is 2 hours and 20 minutes away. So we're not moving anywhere far away from our grandbaby. But we both said if we ever were to move, we would probably retire to Germany. We've toyed with the idea of buying a property, but property is so expensive in Germany, but maybe buying an apartment and renting it out most of the year. And then we would just go and spend a couple of months living in Germany. And then we could even travel from there. I don't know if that is financially feasible at this stage, but it could become financially feasible. But it would be cool to just have a property that we could just, like, when we want to go visit, we could go live there and then rent it out to other people when we're not there, you know, sublet it out. You had a team working for you in Edinburgh. You had some great nights. What team? Yeah, Damien, they had still canceled them for the Showstopper. Because that's right, you were down in Munich in December. I have seen Germany in only 1 month. I've been to Germany 16, 17 times, whatever it is. But always the month of June. Always the month of June. IT guys, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we saw part of the West Coast, and then we actually drove along the border between Wales and England, and then came back around to the North Coast. It was interesting that to go from Cardiff to Bangor, we didn't go along the West Coast. We went up the middle and eastern part of Wales and went through Conwy and came back around. I thought that was interesting. Much longer trip mileage kilometer-wise. All right, thank you for stopping in and hanging out with us, Mark. Take care of yourself. We'll see whatever you post this week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a lot of people. Hey, Torden Road is here. That was another one we saw. Like I said, there was a video a couple of guys posted where there's Alan and Peter Dixon here. Welcome in again, Peter. Great to have you. All of you guys at Getz. But to see, there was, I'm trying to remember whose video it was. But it was funny because I forget who was all in the picture. But you had different regular people in the background, and they were all pointing or staring at somebody else in the picture. Like, you had people staring at Peter going, that's Peter Dixon. And then other people like, that's Alan Wiles. That's John from Piccadilly Circus. That's, you know, I forget which group of YouTubers were kind of standing together in a circle. But you had a whole crowd of people behind, all pointing and staring at different members of the group, recognizing them. And that's got, I don't know, I mean, it's not quite Beatles level, I'm sure, but when you're a YouTuber and all of a sudden people just randomly recognize you, that's got to be something else. When you have when you do Getz, the Great Electric Train Show, yeah, there are people selling stuff, but is it mostly retailers, the big retail people, or do you have local people set up as well? You know, the guy who's got a shop 50 kilometers, 80 kilometers away, and he comes in and sets up a table. Or was this strictly vendors, you know, the big company vendors at Getz? All right, Leslie, take care of yourself. Thanks for popping in. Hoping Joyce will be here any minute. So it's the big boys at Getz. Okay. So no local vendors and stuff. See, here in the U.S., I don't know, like they have the international the NMRA International Train Show or something like that, but I think that is big vendors. But otherwise, most of the shows here are local vendors, and then some big vendors will show up at the bigger shows. But for example, the one I was at in Berea was a big show, but there were, I think there was one major vendor there. The Toledo show, which was a decent sized show in March, no big name vendors were there. It was all just local people and the people that travel and do all these shows in the region. There was a big one in Michigan that there was a Pico representative there, P-I-K-O. There was a Woodland Scenics representative there. And I think there was one other company, and I forget which company it was. Otherwise, that was it. No, there was a LGB from Maryland. There was an LGB guy at that show as well. So you had Pico, LGB, and Woodland Scenics. And Kieran's taking off. All right, Kieran, take care. But yeah, all the few shows I've been to, because I've been to the Toledo show many times. Of course, I used to go to the Toledo show when it was the Toledo Train and Toy Expo, and basically there was one guy who ran the train side of the show and one guy ran the toy, and they had a falling out and the show split. And the train show has continued on. The toy show continued on for a few more years, but eventually died out. And now they have a really small toy collector show, but it's not the big, massive toy show. Because I was a big toy collector. I would buy old toys, fix them up and resell them, trade them, try to get stuff I wanted. Like I'd buy old electric footballs, fix them up, and then turn around and sell them. And Big Show was a wrestler. Beep. Joyce is still at work, so she's going to be late. Hey, Nick is here from Rule 1, although I think he popped in earlier and then had to leave or something, but nice to have you here. You have a club that has hundreds of models for sale. Yeah, I would have liked to have found an older, better quality Mallard than the one I've got running down on the floor here. This one, I forget what the model number was, but it's a recent one, and it was not. It's a rather fragile, not well put together one. I hate to bash on Hornby that way, but yeah, where is it? Come on. There he goes. Oh, he lost his car. Oh, we had a derailment. Oops. Sorry about that. Hang on. I'm just bouncing around, guys. Don't mind me. Wow. I had a derailment. I didn't catch you guys derailed. Why did you derail? And why did you go off on the siding? How on earth did you just suddenly go off on the siding? It's not open. But that's exactly what you did. I'll just leave it off and sort the rest out later. Hey, Stuart's here. Nice to have you, Stuart. I'll have to look that up. I think Kent is where some of my ancestors lived briefly. Now, Kent is south-southeast of London, right? Wonder if I can find that real quick here. I don't know how quick I could find it. Yes, Kent. Yeah, see, my Dodge family is traced back father to son. I am father to son, up to the year around 1300. When 1290, something like that, when a Peter Doge was knighted by Edward I Longshanks for his deeds in the Scottish Wars. So that would have been the 1290s. So he was knighted around 1300. The first, the John Balliol stuff. And we've got some information, but we were from a little village in Cheshire, England called Stopworth. Stopworth, Cheshire, England, which is not the name it goes by now. But then the family, under the name of one Robert Dodge, moved to Kent sometime around the 1380s, 1390s. And then his son, William Dodge, was born in Kent in 1386. So sometime between 1370 and 1386, they moved to Kent, England, and they lived in Kent until the 1400s, maybe the early 1500s. And then they moved to East Coker, Somerset, England, and 3 generations lived there. East Coker, Somerset, England. 3 generations lived there until John Dodge III packed up and moved to the United States in the 1660s. And we are in Massachusetts and Virginia from the 1660s and early 1700s onwards. So there. But yeah, we had some generations of Dodges in Kent. Am I royal? No. Nope. I think we, although there is a Dodge family estate somewhere in the UK, supposedly in Kent, I don't know. But no, hardly royal. We were knighted for our service to Edward Longshanks and fighting the traitors of Scotland, blah, blah, blah. That's their point of view, mind you, not ours. But we were given land in Scotland that we were never able to possess. But I'm just a poor American mutt. My Dodge name is English, but 75% or more of me is German. 3 of my 4 grandparents were born in Germany. The only English part of me is the Dodge name. It might have been, Mick. It was called Stopworth, and now people are like, it was Stopshire, Stopworth. It's gone through various names. They're not quite sure what village it was, and I think Stockport is one of the names they said it might be now. But yeah, whatever that village is now called in that part of the UK, Cheshire. So we were Cheshire cats at one time. Then we went to Kent. And then we went to East Coker, Somerset. And then we went to the United States. Some would say that was going downhill. Well, you already had, your whole royal family's German. King Charles is more German than British. Come on, their name was the Saxe-Coburgs. They changed it to Windsor to make themselves look better. But heck, William II, William III, William IV all spoke German as primary languages. And then Victoria married a German. There's that guy in Australia they claim is actually the true legitimate heir to the British throne if these certain overthrows had not occurred. It was a long, dangerous voyage, that's for sure, but we got our family history shoved down our throat as kids. We have it memorized. We've got the family charts, the family trees. There are certain names that appear over and over and over again. You know, we're all proud of the Dodge cars. Well, most of us. Even though we don't see a dime from that. That was a slightly different branch of the family. Like great-great-great-grandfathers. Although my great-grandfather did help start the Dodge car company. It's all a bunch of horse poop. But, yeah, you know, family Bibles that are 300 years old. Family crest is somewhere. Technically, my cousin Greg is supposed to have the family crest, but I think my distant cousin William somehow has it somehow. Because my Uncle Dale was the oldest son of the oldest son of the oldest son back for many generations, and they had the family crest, which was remade because it was burned in a fire in the 1700s. Alan, did you hear? Peter, Tesco's. There's a joke running there. But I'm just a good old-fashioned mutt of an American. Who just happens to know his family history. Oh, we have definitely lost half our audience, but it's been a quiet day. I really didn't have a lot to go with. ASDA, there's that. But knowing your family history and getting brainwashed with it as a little kid, I try not to brainwash my kids with it too much. My daughter could, if she's listening, could type in and maybe say how much I did. I made them proud of their family name. I want them to be proud. Because you can't go to significant famous places in America and not have you'll see the name Dodge. The first American settlement, the first settlement after the Revolutionary War, after the United States won its independence from the United Kingdom, was Marietta, Ohio. Although it wasn't Ohio back then, it was the Virginia Territory, the Ohio Territory, which was owned by Virginia. But there were 88 settlers. 2 of them were Dodges, my great-great-great-great-grandfather and his brother. You have model train related, the Union Pacific joining the Atlantic, you know, whatever the 2 lines that join. Grenville M. Dodge was there. He was one of the big shots in the Union Pacific Railroad. He was also a big general in in the Civil War. In fact, he's the one who actually burned Atlanta. Sherman takes the blame because it was under Sherman's orders, but Uncle Grenville's the one who did the actual burning. No, I haven't watched Charlie Bishop's new video either. But it's just you're proud of what dead people did hundreds of years ago if you get too caught up in it. I'm just a retired American public school teacher. Of course, public in the United States is the opposite of what public means in the UK. I think you call them in the UK state schools. Charlie is your size. What size is that, Andy? Well, he may only be 5 foot, but he casts a giant shadow. He's Old Navy, isn't he? Bishop, Charlie Bishop was Navy, wasn't he? Or was he Air Force? Yeah, I'm enjoying retirement, Jerry. It beats working. Somebody asked that earlier in the stream. I haven't developed the routine I want to have for the next few years. And I haven't worked on my layout as much as I thought I would have by now. But I've just sort of... the biggest thing was to make sure I got into a health routine, that I would exercise... And I'm trying to do that. I was riding my bike while the weather was good, but now that the weather's cold and rainy and it's dark in the morning, I'm not riding my bike out on the road. So I've got an exercise bike in the house I just bought that I'm using. But I want to get back into a little bit of working with weights here at home. We took my son's bedroom and turned it into a small gym room. So I want to get back into that, and I want to force myself to do it as a daily routine. But I've just been enjoying not working and vegetating. Yeah, Charlie was Navy. That's what I thought. So I don't insult career military men. He was in the Navy for a while, and he carries himself like old military. But, which is a good thing. I say that in a good way, by the way. I miss the students I had. I don't necessarily miss having students now, because the minute I think about that, so my apologies to everybody who heard me say this a little bit ago, but I like to answer questions. I don't miss the work. I don't miss the fixing copying machines. I don't miss all the state regulations. I don't miss trying to motivate a kid to open his book. I don't miss the goofy, loopy parents. Why are you giving my child an F? Because he hasn't done any work. Well, I didn't know he had homework. Here's a syllabus. Well, I never saw that. That's not my fault. So I don't miss that. I miss the relationships with the students. I miss the 3 to 4 year I had with students, a lot of students. Some students I only had for 1 year, but most of them I had for at least 2. And I miss that, where I would develop those relationships. But all the paperwork, all the government, the state oversight, all the crap that the various groups, and the last couple of years fighting the religious nut jobs that you can't mention anything in your class unless it's God Almighty and Jesus. You know, I taught a mythology class, and parents throwing crap fits because I'm talking to them about Zeus and Apollo like I'm trying to convert their kids into worshiping Greek or Babylonian gods. Yeah, the minute you start missing students, you start realizing you don't miss that. Yeah. For some reason a little tilty. Beep. Still got it tilty. Come on, man.
Probably sideways.
Oh, that's even more. Maybe back that way. A little bit more this way. All right, that'll have to do. There, you're centered, and you need a mic. But all I got's an Anthony.
I like my Anthony. Okay. Well, hi, Lindy and Kaya.
I don't even think we have. Oh,
hi,
are they here?
Pumpkin Pie. Yeah.
Hey, Tom Couples is here. Hi, Tom. Hi, Lindy.
So, hi, Ellen.
Hey, Kai. Opa
Hi,
loves you.
Rowan.
Hi, Kai. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, Mystic, you understand. Hi, Tom. Hi, Boxcock Jerry. Hi, Stuart. Dr. Pie, that's Edward, right?
Yep.
Hi, or Andy?
No, who?
Hot Dog Pilot.
No, that's Andy. That's
Andy,
another
that's
Andy.
what I thought. So, hi, Andy. Hi, Mick. Hi, Mystic. Hi, Paul.
And rule 1 is Nick. If you.
He's a Nick. Yeah,
He's
okay.
Nick, right? Okay, you
Gotcha.
remember Nick.
I
Okay.
think so. Hi, Paul. Hi, Christopher. So, happy birthday, Tom.
Ah,
Said
okay.
that last week, but here again. Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting another
one.
Another special ed kid who's another non-reader. That's fun. Thank you, Joseph, and hi. Sweet bird of youth. I'm sure I don't look that young right now. I've been hustling. But grades are due by Tuesday, and so I finally got everything caught up there.
Oh, it's your birthday on Stewart Sunday. Nice.
Okay, Stuart, happy birthday a couple days early.
74 today. Congrats.
That's cool. Yeah. We've lost so many people in their 60s. 74 feels good.
Are we still going up tomorrow?
I think we can, yeah.
Okay.
We gotta find out the address of it.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Hi, Kyle.
But yeah, I've been waiting for some of the Gets videos from the people I subscribe to. Obviously, a few people posted some of their Get stuff. Tony Northeastern sent me a nice picture of him, Cheeky Tech, Alan, and I'm trying to remember who else was in the picture. Maybe I can go to Facebook real fast. One of the people I'm not subscribed to.
They're okay. I'd like my retired guy to
Cottonwood
be
Junction
happier.
or something like that.
What are you putting off?
It's Peter, Gary from Cheeky Tech, Tony Pinnell from Northeastern, Alan, and then I don't know this gentleman, but I think his site is Cottonwood Junction or something like that. I'm not
Okay.
subscribed to him.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing all those people there. You didn't put that up, I don't think.
No, I didn't put that up.
Yeah, it's alright. You don't have to.
Tony's already posted it,
Yeah,
so
you're good.
he just
Okay.
sent it to me.
Oh, yeah, you were in the hospital and recovered for 3 months. Oof,
Who did? Oh yeah.
midsummer.
Where am I at? There I am. I'm trying to get the right stuff going up here.
Yeah, it's been...
That was after a few beers.
okay, guys. Well, you were all smiling, looking happy, so that
But
was nice.
Alan, was it after a few beers, before a few beers, or in between quite a few beers?
Does he articulate? A little bit.
Just hands, rotate, and arms.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's cute with the eyes. So you had him staring down. This guy.
He was talking with the kangaroo.
He was talking to the kangaroo. Nice. Only a few, Alan. Oh, cool. That's nice. Yeah, put on your next video. That'll be cool.
Well, that's what I was showing Joyce
Yeah.
earlier this week, and I talked about already, where there was the picture of a bunch of the YouTubers talking to each other, but then
Yeah.
you had the crowd behind all
Right.
pointing at different ones.
I
like,
know,
it's
they
him,
were- I
it's
know
him,
you,
it's
I
him,
know
it's
you,
him,
I know
it's
you.
him, it's him.
That was fun, and when we were in the UK, it was fun seeing people that recognized us. Although that was kind of fun.
But the thing is, what we were talking about is the people who recognized us were people who were expecting to meet us.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, this is yes,
Yeah,
those
you're right.
YouTubers know each other,
Right.
and some of them were expecting to meet each other. But it's
Right.
all the people in the background who
Right,
are going,
who are surprised, yeah.
you know, that celebrity bit.
Thanks, Peter. Man, you guys.
Oh, do I need one cut? I actually trimmed them when I cut my hair last week.
Yeah,
I missed one.
sticking
One
up.
escaped.
Yep.
Ah, can't grow hair here, Bo. Oh my God, those eyelash hairs will just grow.
Yeah, they do. They do. Tell you, we had a teacher we were working with, and
Well,
he had the hairiest eyebrows that stuck up everywhere. He was such a good guy. He was so knowledgeable, but you were stuck staring at his eyebrows, waiting for them to walk away.
yeah, Peter, I've told Joyce that she could get my subscriptions way up if she'd wear a French maid outfit now and then. But she won't do it.
No! That's not appropriate for your YouTube channel.
What if I had...
Oh no, behave when he's in here.
Oh, that's right. We can't embarrass our daughter.
That's right. Looking out for you, sweet.
Exactly. The problem is, Pete, I can't shave my head. I've got so many gnarls and knots in my head and stuff. I can't pull off the complete shave like you do. You wear it well.
Probably could.
Um,
You could wear the maid outfit.
Nick and John, I didn't know you played on that side of the street.
So, hi Edward, by the way.
From my particular perspective, one of us would wear it better.
You wear lederhosen. There you go.
Later, Hosen.
That's so expensive. Boy,
A,
we've
they're
seen
expensive,
them.
and B, I'm not that. See, the funny thing is, everybody associates Lederhosen with Germans, and if you go to Germany and mention Lederhosen, they all look at you and go, "That's the Bavarians.
That's the Bavarians.
That's just the Bavarians."
Yeah, it is. It's
Although
totally
actually,
not
some of the people in Baden-Württemberg wear them too, but that's the
You can't-
Bavarians.
You
Yeah,
can't go too far
Germans.
north.
Most Germans don't like being stereotyped with the
They
Lederhosen.
don't. Yeah. Yeah, they look like a cute.
But then most Germans
anime
don't like
girl.
being stereotyped with a pickelhaube either. Clink, shut up. Oh, she went to her phone already. What are we doing for dinner tonight? Oh, there'd always be one that fits. You just got to buy the right size. Right, dear? Right, dear?
What's that?
Tom Couples said it wouldn't fit me. I said, well, you can always find the right size, right, dear?
Sure.
Sure. No, Alan's the one that's got the legs for it.
Yeah, he does. What time is it here? 5:29?
5:29. Here we go. I don't know. What do you think? Since you're getting all excited there, John. What do you think? That's where I was crossing my
Very
legs.
smooth. It's a little bit of alopecia there.
That's why I wouldn't let Joyce watch Alan's show for years.
Yeah.
She started commenting, he's got nice legs.
Well, you know, I notice those things. And people look good. And Anthony does have nice legs. They're very smooth.
Yeah, that's another one of the little genetic conditions that I
Yeah.
inherited from my mother. No
You can't unsee that.
Hair on
Oh,
the
that's
legs.
not bad. But yeah, he's hairless.
I'm not hairless. I just no hair on the legs.
Yeah.
I got hair elsewhere.
You're not a scut then, Anthony.
just
Nope.
not on top and not on bottom.
Yep. You don't need to show off. Behave. So no,
Behave.
he's not a Scot. He's a
Hey,
crow.
Andrew T is here. Andrew
He's a
Turnage,
crow.
nice to have you, man. How have you been?
Hi, Andrew. Well, it is helping his, it's helping him subscriptions at least. Yeah, he's all right. Very good
No, I have a
guy.
little bit of Scottish blood in me, which is weird because it comes
Yeah,
from the
your
German
mother.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
your
mom's
mother.
ancestors were the Crawfords from Ayrshire, Scotland. And then they came to the United States, and we have a county named after her great 9 generations back grandfather, William Crawford. And there's a Crawford County named after William Crawford here in Ohio. But then one of his great granddaughters married a German immigrant here, and then they moved back to Germany. So she was of Scottish descent, lived here in America, married a German immigrant. He decided to go back to Germany, and time for another beer. I haven't had my first yet.
I think we need to get you more.
Hey, Steve is getting the oil changed. On what?
Hi, Steve.
Don't answer that.
Yeah. Maybe not. Hey.
See, a Toledo joke. We would do
Yeah,
that, nobody
yeah.
else would get it. Hi, Steve.
Yeah.
Only Toledoans would get that. Northwest Ohioans.
You hadn't hit the like button, gentlemen. Please hit the like button. And if there's any ladies.
By the way, I have a music video that's almost ready to go up
Okay.
by our special guest singer.
Oh, okay.
I've been editing it. I just got to make the video, although I would like you to go back and do some background vocals.
Okay, I can do that.
So
Time
did we
is
already answer that?
there.
It's 5:33 here.
Yeah.
5:33 in the afternoon
4
of
minutes
Friday.
after the last time you asked. Oh.
Wish you could have a drink of liquor, but after work.
Yep,
There are many days at work I could have used a drink of liquor going in, but no, that's wrong to say.
sure is. Well, you got 2 more likes.
I had so much energy when I taught, and I didn't do coffee. My
Yeah.
students said, Mr. Dodge, how much coffee do you drink, or how much cocaine do you snort before you teach? I said, nope, I'm just naturally this wild.
Happy Valley, what's the relationship between Bavarians and Germans?
Okay, Bavarians are a tribe
This
of
could
Germans.
take a while.
Nah, we'll keep it. The Germanic people, like the people of the UK, came in, like people in any, they came in tribes. The Bavarians were one tribe, and they live in southeastern Germany. So they speak German, but their accent, their dialect of it is very different. Now, there's many tribes of Germans. There's the Prussians and the Saxons, the Rhenish, the the Swiss have their own country. The Austrians, which are an offshoot of the Bavarians, thus they speak very similar dialects. But like the Bavarians, the one thing about the Bavarians is that they still have a very different sense of identity. Like, Germans see themselves as Germans first, and then Saxon or Prussian or whatever second. Bavarians see themselves as Bavarian first, and then German.
Yeah. Who's got, you know?
Grüß Gott. But they have all the different parts of Germany have their own regional dialects. But, I mean, technically the Dutch are a German tribe, and the Danes were a Germanic tribe. But they were the North Germanic people, the Scandinavians. Because you have Germanic, which was all those peoples, and then German, which is a particular group descended from the West German branch, because the East German branch died out, and the South German branch died out, thanks to the Greeks and the Romans.
Yep, exactly.
Although I think the
TWR.
Romansh people could classify as surviving elements of in Switzerland. The Romansh people of Switzerland might potentially be.
He says, so it's like me saying them in Welsh and British, putting the Welsh first.
Well, Welsh and English, right. But yeah. Yeah, like the Welsh, there's a strong sense of secular identity. But the Bavarians also have a unique way of speaking German, which
They
is,
do.
in proper German, your R sounds like, almost like a W. For example, the verb to smoke, whether to smoke fish or smoke a cigarette, is rauchen. R-A-U-C-H-E-N. Rauchen. Rauchen. You don't say rauchen, but in Bavarian, it's rauchen. They trill the R. Rauchen. Ich rauche Zigaretten. They trill their R's. In all other dialects of German, the R is a very soft, palatalized R, as we call it. And in Bavarian, it's the trill, the rolled R. And in Austrian, it's a rolled R as well.
Does that make you a mocker, Edward?
See, I'm an American first, and then
Whatever.
nothing else second. Actually, I'm an Earthling first.
Yeah.
I'm a human Earthling first, and then I'm an American. No, I thought that was from the Beatles movie Hard Day's Night, because in the 60s you had the mods and the rockers, and the lady asked Ringo, so are you a mod or a rocker? And he says, I'm a mocker.
Yeah,
Which I
was
think is the
quoted.
perfect answer for a Liverpudlian, because Liverpudlians are mockers. Mm-hmm. Spoken by a adopted Scouser.
Scouser. Yes, he is.
So not only am I an American, I'm an adopted Scouser.
Yep.
And I'm sure that's true, Andrew T. Turnage. I'm sure Scots people see themselves as Scottish first and then British. Just don't call them English. Don't call the Welsh English. But most Germans are Germans, but we're Saxon, and the Northerners think we're proper German because proper German is based on Saxon German. So in Northern Germany, I'll get told my German either is good to very good, but clearly I'm not native. When I go down to the South, I get asked what part of Germany I'm from.
There's kind of that attitude, though. If you're not Bavarian, you must be something else.
But they don't assume, like in Northern Germany, they often assume I'm British. They assume I'm from the UK. And I do get, oh, you speak very good German. But not quite perfect for that region. When I'm on the Rhine River area or in the South, then I get accused of being German. That my dialect is very, very, very...
Not quite, Tom, because Canadians...
Once a sapper, always a sapper. There you go.
Is that like calling a Canadian an American? I mean, they're North Americans.
But see, I think of... the problem is Canadians are Americans in the sense that they're also from North America. Brazilians are Americans, South Americans. But Canadians get offended if they're confused for Americans.
Right.
Or if you... I think the biggest thing Canadians don't like is when you say Canada is just like America, because Canadians get offended by that. And a lot of that goes back to the Canadians were loyal to the British Crown, where we were the rebels breaking away. But also because America is the big, big, dominant brother on the continent, and Canada can get lost in the shadows. So they like to be very sure that you don't call them Americans. And of course, the stereotype, and the funny thing is a lot of the stereotypes of Canadian isn't even all Canadians.
Sure.
Even when you do the accent,
Always.
when you do the Canadian accent, where people just stick A everywhere, you don't just stick A everywhere. It's at the end of a sentence when, like in English, you'd say, right? Am I right?
Right.
Oh, that was a good
Yeah,
hockey
it's
game
a
last night,
question.
eh? Oh, that Iserman, he's a great player, eh? You just say that like in English when you say, right? Right? Yeah?
Oh, it's
Or when you're trying to get somebody's attention, hey, don't you be talking about Tim Hortons donuts like that because we love the donuts. But you will find people in northern Minnesota, Maine,
yeah.
parts of Wisconsin, parts of
similar
northern Michigan that speaks
accent.
that exact same way. We call it the Canadian dialect or accent, but it's actually just a borderline accent between the two groups. The biggest thing with Canadian English is they tend to pronounce their O's more rounded. You know, we say donut, they say donut. Hockey, you know, not hockey, hockey.
It's the Flying Scots' 100th birthday.
Oh, is it? Well, that's cool.
It's also really warm down here.
Well, they are. Red Indians, you know, what you guys call Red Indians, of course, we say Native Americans now. Amerindian or Native Americans. Indians is not necessarily an insult word, but it is one that the various tribes have said, we really would prefer you not call us Indians. And basically, I'm that attitude. I don't call people what they don't want to be called. When we were in Bangor and they said, it's not Bangor, it's Gwyneth, we started calling it Gwyneth. When we're in Dresden, we don't say Dresden. We say Dresden. We say Berlin. We say Hamburg. Whatever people want us to pronounce it, that's what we say. It shouldn't be that big a deal.
Right.
You know, if I go down south, I don't go to New Orleans. I go to New Orleans or New Orleans. You know, it's whatever the locals want you to say, that's what we say. And it's just, it shouldn't be a big deal. If somebody says, I don't want to be called that, don't call them that.
You can hope.
There's that.
Yeah.
But most Americans are mutts. I mean, some of us like to claim certain heritage. I
Well-
do have a stronger affinity to my German heritage than, say, my English heritage, even though my name is Dodge, but I do tend to lean towards my German heritage more, but I'm a mutt. I'm an American. That makes me a mutt. To be
Very
honest,
much, yeah.
if you're from the UK, you're probably a bit of a mutt too. You know, you had a lot of different Anglo-Saxon tribes that mixed on that island, and then it became regional. You're from the Yorkshire area, you're a Londoner, you're a Northerner, you know, you have your regional biases. That develops anywhere. In Germany, they have regional biases. In Norway, they have regional biases. Canada has regional biases. You're always going to have it. Once people settle in a certain area, we become, this is how we're different than you, because we like to talk about how we're different. Instead of talking about how we're all the same, we like to talk about how we're different. You know, if you're from Philly, well, are you from South Side Philly? Are you from North End Philly? If you're from New York, what part of New York? Are you Queens, Brooklyn? Are you the Hamptons? You know, we all like to decide. I'm a Toledoan. Even in Toledo, we got East Siders, North Enders, and South Enders. Right?
Huh?
In Toledo, East Siders, you know.
Yeah.
East
A little
Siders.
bit. Little identity.
There's
there.
even a movement on the east side of Toledo to make themselves a different town, to break away from Toledo and call themselves River East. Make their neighborhood sound less trashy. But the east side is also the
That's
heart of some of
cool.
the old Slavic neighborhoods. The Hungarian side of town, the Romanians, the Bulgarians are on that side of town. Yawn.
Sorry.
Well, I think you would bleed if you eat shit. No, you meant eat, comma, shit, comma, and bleed. That's true. We do. We're all the same. We all bleed red blood.
Yeah, you needed some commas there, son. Because it looks like we eat shit and bleed. I truly believe in the Oxford comma.
Indeed.
I'm like, I don't think we all eat shit.
Commas are
bleed,
important.
though.
The difference between let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma.
Right. Poor grandma.
I mean, my buddy Jean-Ricard and I here, but you hear me tease him all the time. He's half Danish, half French. That means he wants to raid and pillage and then surrender. Even he likes that joke. But that's why when we went to the UK, it's always cool because Even North Wales versus South Wales. Like South Wales, they might speak Welsh, but they're
Maybe.
quite happy speaking English with you.
Yeah.
North Wales, as soon as they hear you speaking American English, it was all Welsh. We don't talk to you.
It wasn't that bad, but you certainly saw things bilingual there.
I love the Scottish accent. The Scottish. I do too. I love all accents. That's why one of my college degrees was linguistics.
Yeah, he does.
I just love accents. My own accent, Joyce's accent. I just love accents. And
guess
Joyce and
I
us do
always-
have different accents.
Yeah, a bit. I always want to know where people are from when they sound different. Tesco's?
Tesco's. Well, you remember Tesco's, right?
I do.
It's a running joke they've got, and I don't get it.
Ah, okay, we don't get it.
There's a Tesco's joke here we're missing.
And a Morrison's, we know that too.
And what was the one? Sainsbury. Yeah, we shopped at
You're
Sainsbury
right,
all the
shopped at
time. We did all our grocery shopping at Sainsbury.
We did shop at a very, 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 very small supermarket where the aisles were on top of each other.
Yep. Tesco's. We never found the big grocery store, did we?
No.
Did we ever? We never found a really big grocery store like a Kroger-sized grocery store. They were all
think so.
they were all tiny to
Yeah, they all seem to be the
Midland
Express
size.
or
The
whatever.
Expresses, the
Yeah.
Tesco Express, the Sainsbury Express. We never saw
Well,
the
it's
big
probably
grocery
because
store.
we were in the more
Touristy areas,
touristy
I guess.
area and not where people are.
Well, think about it. Where we stayed in Bangor wasn't a touristy area.
It wasn't. You're right.
Even Cardiff wasn't really the touristy area. Scottish pirate metal band. You had me right there, pirate metal band. What would a No, see, I'll have to look that up now. What a Scottish pirate metal band looks like.
Well, Hailstorm. He gave you a band.
Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! I'm sorry. That was the best Scottish. Well, Lemmy wasn't Scottish, though. Instead of ace of spades, pieces of eights.
Going to Warley. Yeah. You could get a train ticket and go to Warley.
If you like the sale, I'll tell you where to go. I'm trying to do,
Yeah. See, you could go to Warley. And if Liverpool's still playing, you could go to a Liverpool game.
yeah, but A, they're far apart. I already did a test. Do you know how much it would cost for me to go to Warley?
No.
Just to go to Warley, to get there, have a place to stay for 4 or 5 days, $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Flight would be about
Yeah.
$700
That'll
each
be a
way,
lot of it. Yeah.
$1,400.
Agreed.
Then somewhere to stay, even if I stayed cheap.
Yeah.
So it'd be $2,000 just to go.
Yeah, you're right. It would.
Now, mind you, I could pull that out and do it. If I hadn't done my mad money in other mad ways, I would consider doing that, because it'd be cool to go to Warley. Although, to be honest, it looks like Getz would have been more fun. But at Warley, we'd meet Andrew McDonald again. I don't know who all else would go to Warley.
I don't know. No, who won?
So Nick is going to Warley both days.
I don't know. I think not this time. Oh, he had a fire at Tesco. Oh. Oh. Falling asleep.
Uh-oh. Well, we should get ready to do dinner.
Yeah, I think we can,
Chili dogs or order?
You can do either one.
Well, we could. That's why I gave you a choice.
Well, I'm fine either way.
Oh, you could go either way?
Behave.
Hey, you're the one who said it.
Wow, is that sounding squeaky?
Which one was that? Oh, it was the old one, yeah. Yeah, that was that old. Those are the two old cars. I got them out because did you catch today's theme?
There are no.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they're all German, but they're
Well,
not.
yeah, they're all German.
No, you do your Austrian and you got things.
Look at the trains carefully.
Are we south?
No, because you got the metronome. That's north.
Damn it. Okay, I don't know.
Look at the cars.
Are they double deckers?
Yes, everything is double decker. Even
Yeah, it has
there's a double decker even
Okay,
on
I
the other
noticed that
dude.
Double decker, gotcha. Okay.
Yep, they were all double deckers.
Good job.
Thank you, dear.
Well, you weren't sure what you were gonna do, I didn't think.
No, I came up with it yesterday. So, hey, Warwick Road Andy is here. Got back from a trip. Nice. To London.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, so just getting over there would be almost $1,500, $1,600.
Yeah, all right, you can't do it.
Well, technically I could.
You shouldn't do it.
I shouldn't do it. But I do have that emergency money.
Yeah, you do. But it should be for emergencies, and going to Worley is not an emergency.
But no.
Or a
What if
Liverpool
it's...
game.
I feel like doing Rocky Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. No. I mean, I want it more than him, sir. What if I won something that belongs to somebody else? That's stealing and that's a crime. No, sir. But I want it more than he does. What? I can't have a conversation with this gentleman? I don't know. I would love to be able to save up and do a Warley trip on top of all the other stuff, and Warley or Getz or something like that. Just take off for a few days. I'd leave you behind. Not that I'd like to leave you behind, but you couldn't go.
No, I couldn't go.
Maybe I'd find somebody in the UK to shack up with.
Nuh-uh.
What are you thinking? Some nice person could offer me a room or something. An attic to sleep in.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I tell you. Well, the problem is we only travel in June together because that's when she's off work now. And, for all those years, I was only off work in June, so we could only travel in June. Now, I have the luxury I could travel on my own, but she can't.
Right.
Now, I don't like traveling without her, but to do something crazy like that, because I do want to go to a Liverpool game. Although this year...
Oh, that's nice.
What's that?
Best Friday night on the planet. Thank you.
Well, spread the rumors. We could use another 3 or 4 subscribers.
Yeah.
Of course, we could easily top 3,000-4,000.
Yeah.
You just gotta... Doesn't have to be a French maid. We could get you...
relentless.
We could get you a Bavarian beer wench. Make it German. I got it. What about a Scottish metal pirate band outfit for you?
What do you say, Elstorm?
Ailstorm, yeah. Hey, Z Fantasy Trains is here. We're just getting ready to...
Hi,
Sadly,
Z.
nice to see you after a while. Hope you've been okay. But yeah, we are getting ready to shut it down here, folks, because we need to decide what to do for dinner. It's been another 2.5 hour show. 2.5 hours? Yeah, 3:30. Yeah, 2.5. 2.5 hour show. It once was an hour and a half. Can't believe we used to do it an hour and a half.
Wow. I didn't
Wow,
know.
yeah. Well, you came late. See, if you come earlier, I'd get off earlier because you stayed for about half an hour. So, brilliant show. I don't know what's brilliant about it, but I just love having people come in and listen to me ramble and babble for 2.5 hours. Some people only stay for 20 minutes and then get sick of it and say, I'm out of here. Helga! Helga? There we go. We got to do it one more time. Yes, Fräulein, you could be bringing us the beers. You could be Ilsa. Never mind. How about Heidi? You could be little Heidi in the little dirndl dress and, yeah, and sing for the troops and make all the men happy. Although that regiment, I think, was happy because everybody kept calling them gay.
Were they?
It's like my first girlfriend. I had
Oh dear.
to break up with her.
Why?
Well, I didn't think she was into men. They kept telling me she was Lebanese, so I think she didn't like men. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyhow, everybody, on behalf of Anthony and Joyce, that's not it. Oh, wait, it is. Sorry, this is Friday. It's Joyce.
Right, it's Friday. Right.
On behalf of Anthony and Joyce, we're going to say Auf Wiedersehen.
And choose. And happy trains.
Oh, just steal everything, why don't you? Good night, everybody.